Your friend better stay here, because we're going to go see some people of mine. And I don't like strange dudes. They don't fuck around.
Good hello, my fellow stinky visitor here in hell. This piece is entitled, What I Plan to Do When I Get Back to Heaven. It was written and copyrighted 2026 by Alexander T. Newport. You can find his peculiar and amusing books at all Amazons worldwide. Let us begin by counting down. 3, 2, 1.
If no one compelled me to visit hell, then no one can compel me to visit heaven. And if no one can compel me to visit anywhere, then they cannot determine how I will return to heaven, nor what I will do as soon as I get there. In other words, there is no standard way each of us wakes up in heaven. There is no common protocol. There is no special room. We wake up exactly where we chose to fall asleep. Some people reckon they'd like to be reunited with their loved ones. Kinky Friedman was looking forward to seeing all of his former pets come running to him when he woke up in heaven. I have too much contempt for myself and those who joined me on this visit to hell to want to reunite with them as soon as I wake up. I designed a story, a biography for here in hell that forced me to watch my beloved Lily die in front of me. Ditto for Bubbles and Billy, and my poochy bear Benny, dropped dead in front of me on the kitchen floor. These memorable wounds do not heal. They ruin every pleasant and pretty moment by being a horrific shadow in the background. It's gonna take perhaps 3,000 or 4,000 years of meditation and contemplation under a giant red mushroom in a misty forest. That's where I want to wake up. And if I don't wake up there, that's where I am going to go, dressed like a wizard, with a long white beard, with a giant purple wizard's hat, and a long-stemmed pipe packed with cherry tobacco and rainbow Oreos. And I am just gonna smoke and calm down, way down to an almost imperceptible hum. And I am not joking or being poetic. I need a mighty long time to forgive myself for sending me to this hell. This turned out far worse emotionally than I ever counted on. I went too far. This was a diabolically nasty trick to have played on myself. I am ashamed and embarrassed to have lived such a life. I also need a mighty long time to figure out how I can avoid going back to hell. I need to figure out how to live in heaven without losing appreciation for its relentless perfection and niceness. It's that loss of appreciation or unmitigated gall to become bored with perfection and niceness, which ends up making hell look appealing. And I need to figure a way out of that conundrum, or paradox, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't want to go back to hell ever again. After I've recovered from this hell existence and have returned to a state of easiness and niceness, I plan on opening a pizza restaurant. I look forward to making pizzas by hand and serving them to the customers with a big smile. Everything is free and limitless in heaven, and so the reward is in giving what is expected and appreciated. It feels ever so good to please someone, just for how nice it feels to please someone with what you've done. I will serve pizza 24/7. I will also be the DJ in control of the music. I will play hours and hours of Michael Schenker music from his 1974 to 1984 catalog of concerts. I will also play plenty of Parliament Funkadelic. It will be a happy and energetic atmosphere, and I will smoke spliffs and bongs and pipes between making pizzas. There will always be customers and lots of conversations, lots of eating, lots of smoking, lots of laughter and smiles. Life in hell was brutal. I ate dead bodies to stay alive. Living things who thought and felt had to die to keep me alive in a world I despised for all of its disappointments, thwartings, and worries. I was a ghoul who ate the dead. I was a ghoul who watched his innocent, benevolent loved ones die slow, miserable, heart-wrenching deaths. It was despicable being a human on Earth. It will take a mighty, mighty long time to forgive me for having dreamt this heartbreaking prison sentence nightmare. I lived in a world where the prisoners protected and defended their guards and wardens. I lived in a world where we were tricked into vaccinating our loved ones with lethal injections. We were tricked into believing sickness was transmittable, or transferable, or catchable. We were tricked into believing that injections prevented poor health, when in fact the injections often caused poor health and never once prevented any poor health. They were nothing but synthetic chemicals. Biological bodies made of air, water, sun, and earth do not welcome synthetic chemicals by any means.
Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you, but what the actual fuck are you talking about? What is this bullshit about going to heaven after death? That's Santa Claus talk and Easter Bunny nonsense. Are you having a laugh? Is that what this is?
You're quite the rude motherfucker for interrupting me, but I'll humor you nonetheless. What exactly do you think is going to happen when you die? Have you ever given it any consideration?
All I see when I think about death is a big black silent wall of nothingness. Have you ever watched someone die? The lights go out, and that's the end. That's all she wrote. We can't see anyone waking up in their original reality or any sort of heaven. So just shut up with your wishful thinking, blibbity babble, and find something else to think about.
Believe it or not, I respect your outlook on death. You're calling it like you sees it. But I have thought about it a lot longer than you, and based on the fact that in this world we have music, laughter, and moments of kindness, I cannot but help conclude that this trip through hell was voluntary and will end by a return to a heavenly home. It will end exactly like waking up safe at home after a night of intense dreaming. The ultimate truth behind any reality, even an illusory reality called a dream, that includes music, laughter, and moments of kindness and niceness, has to be the epitome of simplicity, fearlessness, and good news for all. We composed this trip through hell for the sole reason of reappreciating heaven. Heaven is a world that is an opposite of this hell we are currently living in. It has all the good parts of this hell and none of the bad stuff in this hell. It's simply a nice world with nice people. A nice world without limitations, or restrictions, or prices, or penalties, or punishments, or pain. A nice world in life where we don't have to rush to or through anything. A nice world where we don't have to be slaves to a clock. A nice world where we can wander anywhere we please, at any time, and no one will confront us and ask us for identification or our purpose for being there.
Blah, blah, blah! Oh my God! How utterly infantile! If you actually believed that wishful thinking nonsense, you would kill yourself today! You would rush back to paradise, right? So why are you still here, you big sissy? Answer me! Answer me! I am talking to Jew!
Back the fuck out of my face, you mucus breath mother fag. It long ago occurred to me that this prison sentence nightmare was predetermined. It was scripted in collusion and collaboration by each of us before this physical world manifested. Each of our lives unfold and unfurl on automatic pilot. If suicide happens, it was scripted and not an actual free will, free play choice within the predetermined nightmare. At the moment, I have no push from within to rush back to heaven. I came here to hell for a damn good reason. Heaven can wait.
I don't think it's healthy for you to think or write about this stuff. You should be living your life to the fullest and not fucking about with such a morbid subject. You really are some sort of ghoul, aren't you? Would Krishnamurti talk like this? What about Alan Watts? They weren't hung up on this dreadful subject, nor did they speculate like some moronic, vaccine-damaged child about what happens after death. You are an inferior philosopher compared to them, aren't you? Answer me! I'm talking to Jew! How can you have the arrogance to predict what happens after death?
It's simple logic. If this hell is an inversion of heaven, and this hell is full of central authorities, and this hell is running on a predetermined script, then it stands to reason that heaven has no central authority and no scripts and doesn't have the constraints and restraints caused by being stuck in a scripted, predetermined nightmare running on automatic pilot. In heaven, we are totally free to do, think and feel, however we naturally feel like doing and thinking and feeling. Does anyone here in hell grill you after you wake up from a nightmare? Does anyone make you review it? Or do you simply wake up and feel relieved it was just a bad dream, and then get out of bed and forget all about it, and get on with your peculiar life? Well, when I wake up from this nightmare, I'm going to the giant red mushroom in the misty forest, and I'm gonna sit underneath it and smoke my pipe, and slowly and gently forgive me for having dreamt such a terrible dream of ghouls and deceptions and lies and greed and fear-mongering and grief and death. And I cannot imagine anyone objecting to that, nor feeling any inclination to prevent or discourage me from doing so. I'm gonna rest alone in peace for at least 3,000 or 4,000 years. It's been a long, lonely, and hard inner road that I've been on. It's been far worse than a long, strange trip. It was not a nice thing to do to me. I am embarrassed and ashamed beyond belief to have been so bad, mad, and sad. What a totally unnatural life to have lived. I spit on it, motherfuckers.
Your mother and me would like for you to cozy up to the Finkelstein boy.